Good morning, children. After long studying of history civics continue your studying from long time. Now today we are starting geography chapter 3. Before this chapter you have completed geography chapter 1 resource, geography chapter 2 natural resources, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife and conservation. Okay, so as I earlier told you that in this geography book you are learning about all the different kind of resources, right? In first chapter you learn that all the resources can broadly divided into three categories: natural resources, human resources, and human-made resources. So, in second chapter was also all about natural resources, and this chapter mineral and power resources is also about natural resources, right? And broadly we can say that this chapter has two part. That title suggesting itself minerals and power resources. So first part you will learn all about minerals, meaning of mineral, types of mineral, extraction of mineral, availability of mineral, conservation of mineral, uses of mineral, right? In same all this topic you will learn about power resources also. And about this topic, that minerals and power resources you are learning from your previous classes. From in form 6 also you learn about some minerals, you learn about electricity generation, power resources. In last year also you learn. This year you will learn proper meaning and availability of minerals and power resources on the earth. So let us start. Obviously this is a part 1, so here introductory part is given. First they have given the story of Kiri and Sukant. Two friends are here. Sukant was living at Dhanbad. Dhanbad is a city in Jharkhand. And children, you please note down that in India most of the minerals are available at Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa. So these are the areas where mostly minerals like iron ore, aluminum, magnesium, these all are concentrated. Right? Actually, there is a no particular place that these things will be there. Depends on the composition of earth, composition of rock, that decide the availability of mineral. Okay, so let's see what Kiri and Sukant has to say to us. Kiri was visiting Sukant in his native place near Dhanbad. Kiri was amazed to see that large areas were black. Dhanbad cities, most of the area you will find, if you visit there, you will find that black areas all over there. Sukant, why is this place so black and dusty? She asked. This is because of coal mines nearby. As I told you that because of different mines, here he is talking about coal mines. So people, workers are always 24 by 7. They are working, they are extracting coals from that mines. Do you see the trucks? They are carrying the mineral coal. Sukant is telling that because of coal mines and these trucks are continuously carrying coals from this mine, so this dust particles is all around in the atmosphere, so it looking blackish all over. Then Kiri is asking, what are minerals? Sukant replied, have you ever seen a baker baking biscuits? The flour, milk, sugar, and sometimes eggs are mixed together, right? When we are eating biscuit, we don't know which things are there, which ingredients are there in this biscuit or any cookies. While eating the baked biscuit, can you see these ingredients separately? Just as in a biscuit, there are number of things that you cannot see. Rocks on this earth have several material called minerals, right? So like biscuit, you can take anything, then if you touch it, then you will not be able to see that what are the ingredients inside it. Suppose he is telling about rock on this earth. If you take one piece of rock, then you cannot say that which minerals would be inside the rock, but you need to observe it, you need to test it, and then you will find that there are varieties of minerals inside the rock. These minerals are scattered throughout the earth's rocky crust. Right? In Form 7 also you learn that rock and rock cycle. And all these different rocks we can divide into three broad categories: igneous rock, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So all these minerals, different types of minerals are available on the earth. These minerals are scattered throughout the earth rocky crust. Depends on the composition, depends on the availability of that content and material, that types of rock will give a particular kind of mineral. Now, definition of minerals, very important. Please underline also, children. What is mineral? A naturally occurring substance that has definite chemical composition is a mineral, right? First thing, most important thing, it is a naturally occurring, right? It is not occurred by any human disturbance, human involvement. It is a natural occurring substance, and each and every mineral has some definite chemical composition. Even we can say physical composition also, but most importantly chemical composition. Because of that chemical composition, that particular mineral is used for that particular use. Minerals are not evenly distributed over space. This is also another special characteristics of mineral. It is not evenly distributed. We cannot say that the amount of coal found in Dhanbad, same will be in the Gujarat, same will be in USA, same will be in Canada. They are concentrated in a particular area or rock formation. Right? So concentration of minerals depends on the rock formation. Last year you learned that rock cycle. All the rocks keep on changing one form to another form. Igneous rocks can be sedimentary rock, can be metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock can be igneous or sedimentary under great heat and pressure. And that also not an overnight process. It takes several years, rather I will say thousands of the years to form these minerals in a rock. They are concentrated in a particular area or rock formation. Some minerals are found in areas which are not easily accessible, such as the Arctic Ocean bed and Antarctica, right? So each and every earth crust is having some minerals. Some are easily accessible like Dhanbad or any other places in India, but some places are not accessible easily, like Arctic Ocean bed. There are so many different varieties of minerals found, but because of inaccessible area we cannot use this mineral. Even at Antarctica also several minerals are found. Minerals are formed in different types of geological environment under varying conditions. Geological environment, right? You remember in Form 7 you learn inside the earth. This molten magma keeps on moving under great heat and pressure, and then it keep on moving also. So this is a particular condition, particular environment, and the condition of this earth crust is also changing. They are created by natural processes without any human interference. They can be identified on the basis of their physical property such as color, density, hardness, and chemical properties such as solubility. Right? So you can underline that particular minerals are having some particular physical properties like its color, density, hardness, stiffness, and some chemical properties like solubility, in which type of minerals it will soluble or not. So in this way we can identify particular mineral. So children, hope you understand this proper introduction of this chapter. As I told you that there are so many topics in this chapter and you need to learn deeply about minerals, types of mineral. Okay. Minerals, we are using minerals in our daily life from morning when we wake up till the night we sleep. We are using different types of minerals, right? So like suppose we are eating whatever food we are eating, we put salt. Salt is also mineral. That graphite we are using in our pencil, that is also mineral. The earrings, ornaments what we are using, that is made up of gold and silver, they are also mineral. Utensils what we are using, stainless steels, right, they are also minerals. Electricity, in which all the weapon that equipments we are using at our home, they all are using different kind of minerals. So we cannot imagine our life without minerals. That particular we will learn in that uses of minerals. Okay. Second topic of this part is types of minerals. Right. So as I told you that there are thousands of minerals we are using in our daily life. Right. Broadly, if we divide that, we can divide minerals into two types: metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals. There are over 3000 different minerals. On the basis of composition, minerals are classified mainly as a metallic and non-metallic minerals. Metallic minerals further classified as a ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means, you must have learned in science, in chemistry, ferrous means contain iron part. Let us see what is there in this detail. Metallic minerals contain metal in raw form. Metals are hard substances that conduct heat and electricity and have characteristics lusters or shine. Iron ore, bauxite, manganese are some examples of metallic minerals. Now hope you understand that metallic minerals are having some metal part in a raw form, like iron ore, bauxite, manganese are some example. Metallic minerals may be ferrous or non-ferrous. Ferrous minerals like iron ore means having ferrous. Ferrous is a chemical name of iron. So ferrous minerals like iron ore, manganese and chromides contain iron. A non-ferrous mineral does not contain iron but many may contain other metals such as gold, silver, copper. You must have heard pure gold means it does not contain any iron part. Pure silver, copper. So they do not contain iron but they contain other metal like suppose in gold, gold is a metal, silver, copper, lead. So these are considered as a non-ferrous minerals. Now the second category is non-metallic minerals. They do not contain any kind of metals. Limestone, mica, gypsums are example of such minerals. The mineral fuel like coal and petroleum are also non-metallic. Like mineral fuels like petroleum, crude oil, they are also considered as a mineral but they do not contain any metal. No, so they are called non-metallic minerals. Okay. So hope children you understand this bifurcation of minerals. Two types of minerals, metallic, non-metallic. You have to remember example of also each type. Metallic further divide into ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous means contain iron part, non-ferrous means does not contain iron, and non-metallic means does not contain any metal. Okay, so we are keeping today's lesson till here. In next lesson, you will learn about extraction of mineral, uses of mineral, distribution of mineral. Okay, children, keep learning. If you are having any doubt, we will solve in our live class. Okay, children, goodbye.
And I want you to see if you can figure out what they have in common. So we have toothpaste, a computer, a baseball bat, a diamond ring, deodorant, a watch, paint, a pencil, a cell phone, glass, chalk, salt, and coins. What do they all have in common? Well, you may be thinking they don't have much in common. They actually do though, because they're actually all made of minerals. Minerals come in many different shapes and colors and sizes. By the time you finish watching this video, your goal is to be able to describe what makes something a mineral. So minerals are important for a few reasons. Obviously we use them. We use them in all those objects we just looked at. But they're also important because they are the building blocks of rocks. All rocks are made of minerals. When you look at a rock and you see different colors in it, those colors are minerals. And without minerals, we could not have rocks. Scientists have so far identified over 4,000 different minerals, and they all look very different from each other. Some of them are beautiful, we call them gems. Some of them are just plain ugly and not very colorful. And during the next week or so, you're going to have a chance to investigate and learn about what gives minerals their properties. Many of you probably take a vitamin in the morning, And you probably know that your vitamins also contain minerals in them, such as magnesium, zinc, copper, chromium, molybdenum, nickel, even silicon. The same silicon that's used to make a computer chip you put into your body. This picture shows how many minerals the average US citizen will use in his or her life. And so some of these numbers are pretty astounding. For example, salt. The average US citizen will use 31,000 pounds of salt in his or her life. Now that includes salt that you put in your food, salt that you put on your driveway to melt the ice. If we look at coal, over 500,000 pounds of coal. So your electricity, your energy, trains, things that we use to travel with, use coal. Okay? Cement, almost 70,000 pounds of cement in your life. Now cement is not a mineral, but it has minerals in it. Petroleum, oil, zinc, clay, lead. Okay? So we really rely on these things and we use them a lot in our day-to-day lives. Some other uses of minerals include things like aluminum, which we use for packaging, transportation, for building things. Fluorescent lights that you might have in your house, they have beryllium in them. Calcite is found in your toothpaste. Iron, used in buildings and magnets and cars. And if you look at the back page of your reference table, page 16, you have a chart that shows you minerals and some information about them. Let's start with this column on the right. These are the names of some minerals. And if we go a few columns over to the left, we see some of their uses. So halite, for example, is used as a food additive. It's used to melt ice also. Dolomite is used in stones that are used for building. Glass and ceramics have plagioclase feldspar and potassium feldspar in them. Okay. Electronics have quartz. So we have a list of minerals, and among other things, we can find out what they are used for. Now, to really understand minerals, we have to understand how they're created. So we're going to do a little chemistry review. Okay. So you might remember from past years that the basic building block of all materials are atoms. Atoms have a few different parts to them. In the center is what we call the nucleus. And inside the nucleus, we have protons, which have a positive charge, and neutrons, which are neutral. They have no charge. All around the nucleus are the electrons, which have a negative charge. So what will happen is atoms that are the same will join together to form the elements. Once you have an element, you have a basic unit of matter that cannot be broken down any further. So if we think of an element like hydrogen, you can't break hydrogen down into anything else. Many minerals are native elements, which means that they're made of only one element. And you're familiar with a lot of these. In fact, there are 92 native elements. And they include things like gold. Okay, so gold is an element, it's also a mineral. And because it only has one element in it, we say that it is a native element. Silver is another native element. Platinum, diamonds. Diamonds are interesting. We know that they're beautiful. We know they're very expensive. Diamonds are made entirely of carbon. The same thing that graphite is made out of. Graphite is what's inside your pencils. When you write, you're writing with graphite. Later in the week, we're going to learn about how it's possible for two minerals to be made of the same chemical, yet to be so completely different from each other. It's actually pretty interesting. Sulfur is a native element, as is copper. So they're all minerals that have one element. Now, other minerals are made of a combination of different elements. So the elements, if you think about the periodic table of elements, the elements can combine with each other to form what we call compounds. Quartz is an example of a compound. Quartz has one silicon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, the scientific name for quartz is silicon dioxide. And there's a picture of silicon. Pyrite is another mineral that's a compound. You probably know of pyrite, but you may know of it by its other name, which is fool's gold. So pyrite, or fool's gold, is a compound made of iron and sulfur atoms that are combined with each other. Hematite is another mineral that's a compound. It's made of iron and oxygen. Okay, so a compound has more than one element. If we go back to the reference table, there is a column over here that shows us the composition of minerals. And they use the chemical symbols. Not to worry, there is a key on the bottom. If you don't know the